Well, Darlie supporters and Darlie family, looks like you lost another one. This isn't the first time that I've seen a hardcore Darlie supporter or participated with a hardcore Darlie supporter that has seen the light. And he's been seeing the light. Because, like I told you before, and I did not lie, he has always told Pam and myself that he has doubts about Darlie's being innocent. Yeah, he can. I'm just being honest. He can say that he said that, at first, but his very first video says that she's innocent. And I know that he's had these doubts because he's told me and Pam this over the years several times. And I thought that he wasn't that far off into support where he couldn't see it. And even with his doubts, he stood up there and defended Darlie because he felt like the family were his friends and all that, and he just wanted to believe that she was innocent. But then some things started happening in the background, and he did reach out to me about some things he didn't know about how support was back in the day. And here's what I expect, and I'm going to mention this. I'm going to say this so it doesn't happen. When I left support, and I told Rich this too. I said, if you ever leave support, they're going to say you did this and say you did that, and you're a monster, and you're stalking everybody, and you're harassing people, and they're calling the cops, because that's what they did to me. So, in order to keep that from happening to Rich, I'm going to let you know. That's what they're going to do. They're going to dog him. Because the one thing they don't like is a supporter that left support. They're going to dog him. They're going to say shit that he didn't do. They're going to blame him for stuff he didn't do. They're going to dog him. He's telling me he's backing away from it. He's backing away from it. He has told me a few things here and there. But he doesn't tell me anything about the case. He doesn't tell me what they've got. He doesn't tell me what they haven't got. He does have respect for Darlie in that. So this is Rich Prater. So to call it what it is, I believe Darlie is guilty of killing Devin and Damon. Now, had I not told you guys that he's had doubts, all this, without me, he's had doubts. And I think that he would talk to me, and he would talk to he talked to Basha. I think that he would talk to people to try and figure it out. Because he wanted to believe that Darlie was innocent so much. But the truth always comes out. It just won't come out. That's what he had to say. I'm going to try and block his number out best I can. But you lost another one. And the actions that you guys have behind the scenes, like keep Sully's name out of your mouth, you'll support her the way we want you to, type of shit. You lose people. And he can see by the behavior of the family and the people who support Darlie. It's all the same. It's been the same for years. You guys remember Melissa Thompson, who you hate now? She was a strong Darlie supporter. Real strong. She's even writing up writs and sending money and doing all kinds of stuff for Darlie. I talked to her for 2 hours. 2 hours, and she was no longer a supporter of Darlie Routier, and she is a licensed private investigator. They hate her now. They hate Melly. So, was this my goal in the beginning? No, it wasn't. But I knew from talking to him that he had doubts. I knew it. She had lied to him a couple different times. He knows it. He made a comment about Dennis Stahl. He commented, he said, well, Bryan seems to think that molesting had something to do with it, but I don't think so. Okay, and there's been times where Rich didn't want me to see stuff, but I've seen it anyway. You know, people from the support side, the whole time I've been doing this for years, would send me stuff and say, shh, don't tell anybody. You can use it, but don't tell where it came from. And Rich hasn't been one. He's not done that. Supporters that you know that every day that you talk to me because there's doubts and they know that I can clear that shit up. It's sad to me. Of course, I'm glad that he's seeing the light, but it's sad to me that this man put all that effort into it. He put up with me. He put up with other people. He put up with his panel. He put up with a lot of shit because he looked into Darlie's eyes and he felt like she was innocent. And he didn't want to disrespect the family ever. He didn't want to do it. And then you allow this snake solely into your groups. She's a joke, you guys. She's a joke. You know, and if I'm like this, if I hear something that's helpful to the support side, I put it out. My non-supporter friends don't care for that when I do that. But you know, if something looks good for Darlie, I'll put it out. I'm not here. I don't want her to be guilty because I don't just want to be right. I really want you guys to prove me wrong. But you can't do that. You can't come to my page and my YouTube channel and prove me wrong. And I'm not going to come after you if you do that. The reason I went after Sully is because she fucking told me she was going to embarrass me publicly. She lied to me, and then she put up a thing about my son's case to get back at me. Right? I don't care that people know about my son's case. But when you put it up, something that he killed this child just to get back at me, that shows your fucking mentality. You weren't doing true crime about Braden Ferguson before you met me. And then she went on Reddit and told everybody that she put it up before she even met me. She is a fucking liar. She's a liar. And I hope she always has the day she fucking deserves. And I'm sure that Steven Sullivan doesn't know half the shit that she does behind the scenes. I'm sure she don't. There's been plenty of times, well, I'm up at 3 in the morning. Where's your fucking husband? Is he in bed? So I'm glad that Rich Prater is seeing the light. I'd like to give him the opportunity to come on my panel and show me what it is. Because they're going to say, this is what they're going to say. Well, he had a falling out with us, and now she thinks she's guilty. No, he was saying that before all this falling out. He was telling me he had doubts. He also told Pam that. And he did deny it. But I'm telling you, I've heard it from him plenty of times. Sometimes I just don't know, Bryan. I said, so you got doubts? Yeah. He told Pam the same thing. So he already had his doubts, but he pressed on. He pressed on. He continued. He tried to do it the right way. He couldn't please you guys, telling him who he could and couldn't talk to. So you've lost another one. Hopefully he can keep the same friends that he had. You know, he's got a different view of it now. But since he's said this right here, they won't talk to him. Or they'll cuss at him and talk about him behind his back. I'm hoping that he can still remain friendly with Kathy and Diane. Those people mean something to him. Danelle, it's not going to happen now. Danelle's never going to talk to him, or she'll send him some shitty ass response. But he sent this to me. So I have no problem with putting it up. When you send something to somebody in text, it belongs to them. I don't feel like I'm going behind his back. I don't think he's going to make a video and say, hey, But I'm going to give Rich the opportunity to come on my panel and speak his mind. I'll tell you one thing, though. I'll tell you one thing that I knew. I really wanted Rich to have contact with Basha. And I asked her right off the rip when we was sitting at her place. I asked her, I said, well, there's this other gentleman I'd really like for you to meet. And he lives here in Texas. And he is a avid Darlie supporter. But I'd like for you to meet him. And first she said, yeah, I'll meet him. Then she said no. Then she said, yeah. And then she finally said yes to it, to talk to him. And he talked to her a couple times. And if any supporter, besides the family, will sit down with Basha Jovel, by the end of that conversation, I'm pretty sure you'll believe everything that Basha has to say. I do. It's repetitive. Basha says the same things over and over and over again. Just like Darlie's been in there proclaiming her innocence for all these years. Basha's story has never changed. Never. So hopefully that was the boot that we needed to rescue Rich Prater from the hands of the supporters. Good job. Now, Rich, do you want to come on my panel? You want to talk about it? The non-supporters will respect you. Leave your videos up. Don't take them down. Please. Then you and I can go through each one of them maybe on a panel and say, well, and we can look at it. Leave them up. Don't take them down. You put a lot of work on that. Please don't take them down. Rich is asking for forgiveness from the non-support side, which I did the same thing. But now they're going to start dogging Rich. That's what they're going to do. And Rich, I'm going to tell you something. If they start going, if they get a little bit too much on you, I got your back. They'll stop. Guaranteed. If they talk about you, it'll be amongst themselves behind the scenes. Guaranteed. Same thing with Basha. Basha knows. I told her to keep track of every email, every phone call, everything. If she gets harassed by any of you, I'm coming after you. That's me telling you. You mess with Basha, I'm coming to get you. That I will come out. She's 70 fucking years old. And she's the only one that I know that knew Devin and Damon that fucking tells the truth about this case. She has no reason to lie about Darlie. I believe every fucking word she says. Every word of it. Darlie Routier is 100% guilty of killing Devin and Damon Routier. Thank you. And have a nice day.